Voyager 2 completed its grand tour of the outer planets with a flyby of Neptune in August 1989. With its narrow-angle camera, it started taking photos of Neptune in early June, when it was still about 118 million kilometers from the planet. In those first few pictures, which you'll see once I finish talking, Neptune appears fairly small, but you can see Triton tracing out its orbit. In the diagram here I've exaggerated the size of Triton's orbit by a factor of 4. Despite Neptune's low axial tilt, Triton orbits at a large angle to the ecliptic, and indeed in the opposite direction to Neptune's rotation. Wikipedia tells us that this means that Triton probably started out as a Kuiper belt object before being captured by Neptune. You'll notice that the photos vary in brightness. This is because Voyager took photos with different filters, clear, UV, green, etc., and with different exposure times. The very bright frames are from 46 or 61 second exposure shots with no filter, which the notes in the image files tell us were usually taken to look for Neptune's very faint rings. When taking a photo with a filter, most of the exposure times were between 5 and 15 seconds, or about 30 seconds when using the ultraviolet. While it's possible to use the filter information to make colorized pictures, I've left them all in black and white. The motion in the video isn't smooth, since the pictures weren't always taken at regular intervals, either because Voyager pointed its camera at some other object, maybe a moon or the rings, or just because they didn't schedule regular photos. But there are sequences where you can clearly see Neptune and its great dark spot rotating. Another fact gleaned from Wikipedia is that the great dark spot has since disappeared. They pointed the Hubble Space Telescope at Neptune in 1994, so about 5 years after these photos, and they didn't see the spot. The last frame of the video was a photo taken when Voyager was about 6 million kilometers from Neptune. It kept taking pictures. Indeed, at its closest point it was only a few thousand kilometers from the surface, but after this point Neptune was too close for all of it to fit inside the picture. Once it had passed Neptune, Voyager pointed its camera around and took some more photos, now showing Neptune as a crescent, but these don't fit into the sequence in this video, so I've left them out. So here we go, Neptune as approached by Voyager 2.